a magical world way up in North Iceland. An area where you can experience firsthand that our planet Earth is alive. Another world like on the Moon or on Mars, full of sulfur fields, pseudo-craters, lava pillars, and a lake inside a volcanic crater. Join the extraordinary journey to Lake Mývatn, one of the places to visit in Iceland. So we are on our way now to one of these super famous Icelandic areas and sites. But here on the way to the site will be a waterfall that we want to visit, and we will stop soon for it. The funny thing about Iceland, before we went on the trip I bookmarked all these famous majestic waterfalls. But as soon as we started the trip I realized you don't even need to look for waterfalls in Iceland. They will cross your path eventually. So did Godafoss waterfall, which we had not even heard about before hitting the road in the morning. Godafoss means waterfall of the gods. And it is a pretty beautiful one. And also one of the most accessible ones of Iceland. Just off the Ring Road 1, the 12 meters high and 30 meters wide waterfall is one of the top attractions in North Iceland and part of the famous scenic route, the Diamond Circle. So we are at this, I think, pretty famous waterfall here, and my travel partner is already waterfalled out. He decided not to do the complete hike to it. I think it's pretty, but it's a waterfall. How did you like this waterfall?
It's pretty nice, but my favorite one is still in Sierra Leone.
It was in Guinea.
Guinea, I mean. That was very nice.
Today we are visiting, I think, the first really big tourist hub of our trip, which is not to be missed on most Iceland's itineraries. And that is the lake called Mývatn, and it's not only a lake, it's also a region, and I'm actually looking very forward to it because my guess is that there will be very great adventures waiting. So this is it, people. This is the first view of Lake Mývatn, and isn't it absolutely beautiful? With these volcanoes here in the background, really a little bit outer-worldly. Mývatn is a lake which was created by a large basaltic lava eruption only 2,300 years ago. The name of the lake means the Lake of the Midgets, and it comes from the huge number of midgets to be found there in the summer. The lake midget doesn't bite or sting, and they are crucial to the ecosystem of Mývatn. I am super excited to be here because there are a lot of super interesting things to see here at the lake and also in the lake surrounding. And to start with, we will circumnavigate the lake to see it from all angles and to see the coolest things that are there to see. The Ring Road number 1 and Road 848 go around the lake, and the curves of this drive gently follow the lake's shape for 36 kilometers and offer some great stops and scenic views. Lake Mývatn in best weather and best conditions. Super lucky today and a very good day to explore this little gem here. So
So when circumnavigating Mývatn, you always get a bit more away of it, and then you get closer to the shore again. And the southern half of the lake that we are approaching now is definitely the more touristic part. I know it because there are like more sights to see, and also according to the amount of cars that we have met here since arriving at the lake, it's much more people now.
Skutustadal Giga is one of the most famous and scenic features of Lake Mývatn. It's the name of a row of pseudo-craters that are not magma-producing volcanic vents, but were formed by gas explosions when boiling lava flowed over the cool wet surfaces around 2,300 years ago. The heat caused steam eruptions, which resulted in their crater-like shape. As they were not the sources of lava or volcanoes in themselves, they are not considered true craters. But with their extraordinary green color and shapes, one of the most famous landmarks of the area.
So maybe this ride here on the lake is not exactly the most exciting we did the last days, because it's quite busy. But what is indeed exciting is the views. And besides of these pseudo craters here on the most eastern side of the lake, there are a few things worth to stop for, and we will go now. Lake Mývatn. Very nice views everywhere.
Hofdi is one of the areas to visit when driving around Lake Mývatn. It forms a peninsula into the lake, and its original name is Buck Point, which comes from the name of its owner in the early 20th century. He and his wife planted thousands of trees and other plants there during their summer holidays for decades. After the husband passed away, the widow donated this property to the county, and since then it has been open to the public to enjoy.
Now comes one of the best parts of visiting Mývatn, and no, for once I mean not some stunning nature. So if you have followed this channel a while, you know that I like great food, and there's a restaurant here at the lake that is renowned as one of the best in Iceland, and of course that means I need to visit. That is it. Vogafoss Restaurant and Farm.
One of the best restaurants in Iceland is situated close to Mývatn Lake. At Vogafjós Farm, you can dine with a view into the stable. And I can confirm the exceptional quality of the food.
The fish and the lamb. We will see.
You also can stay in the guest house that is supposed to be one of the best accommodations in the area and has some amazing views on the Mývatn surroundings. But it was of course fully booked at our time of traveling. Alternatively, there is a lovely campground to stay very close to Vogafjós Farm, where we actually washed our laundry. And for shopping food or any other needs like an ATM, visit the only small town along the lake, Reykjavík. Mývatn is a touristic place, so there are quite a few options for accommodation around the lake. But besides of the lovely Vogafjords farm, I don't really dare to recommend any of the ones I saw, because they were rather overpriced altogether.
Good morning, party people. Today is day 2 of our Mývatn experience, and there's a reason you should at least spend 2 days here, because Mývatn is not only a lake but also a super interesting geologically area with a lot of things to see. So I think it's nice to have one day to see the lake and one day, like we have now, to see what we are going to now.
The Freri geothermal area is only a few hundred meters off the ring road and one of the most impressive things to see around Lake Mývatn. There are many mud pools, steam vents, fumaroles, cracked earth, ground colored by minerals and bubbling water. And it is a place that is unforgettable due to another reason. If you have a strong preference for the odor of rotten eggs, you will love the smell of the hydrogen sulfide of the pools. You can literally feel that the hissing ground beneath you is alive, and the Mars-like scenery is one of a kind. The Mars comparison is, by the way, pretty accurate. NASA actually used this area in the past as a training center for their astronauts.
That was lovely, but now we are turning into another area that is supposed to go a little up some mountains or hill, and on the way there is something very special too we want to visit. This here is the so-called endless shower, and maybe I should have a shower.
One of the most amazing outdoor bathrooms of the planet, this never-ending outdoor shower in Iceland. It is connected to a thermal spring, as a result of which there is hot water in the shower all year round. And of course, my travel partner, I, and our motorcycles couldn't resist to take a lovely shower here in the outdoors of Iceland.
Nice shower. Okay, so this with the shower was fun, but we are actually here for another reason. We want to go to a lake that is in a volcanic crater and supposed to look stunning.
On the way to the Viti crater, you will drive by a geothermal power plant, a testimony of Iceland's attempts to tame the raw power of the geothermal elements for green energy.
So left and right of us is all the Krafla volcano and volcanic system, and it looks all so cool, if you ask me. Really like outer-worldly beautiful.
Many of the top attractions around Mývatn, like the geothermal area, are within the Krafla volcanic system, which is 10 kilometers wide and 90 kilometers long. Krafla is one of Iceland's most active volcanoes. The road into the Krafla volcanic area leads you right to a crater called Viti, which translated means hell. Viti was formed in 1724 by a massive eruption, and this event lasted in its entirety for 5 years and was called the Mývatn Fires. The diameter of the crater is around 300 meters. It is much better known, however, for the aqua blue water that sits within it year-round. This spectacular coloration is due to the elements brought up from the geothermal activity in the area. Guys, this crater is not the only crater called Viti in Iceland. In the next episode, we will make another trip to hell, or should I rather say off-road heaven? We will change our bikes for a 4x4 Super Jeep and the company of an awesome Iceland expert, and explore an area called Askja in the Highlands. And without saying too much, this was a hell of a trip. But before I see you guys next Thursday, give this episode a thumbs up and leave a comment.